All right, Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ryan with Erosoflove, and today I'm going to talk about the astrology of May 2021 and do a love tarot reading for you. So let's start out with the sun. The sun is in Taurus. It's finishing up at the last degrees. And for you, Sag, that is your sixth house. Taurus is 6 signs past Sagittarius. And the sixth house is all about work. It's about routine, the mundane affairs of life. And it's about health and service. And service could be construed broadly. Could be service to the community, service to family, service to yourself. So those are the themes that really resonated for you, at least over the last month, 4 weeks or so, until the sun moves into Gemini. And this is going to be big for you because Gemini is your 7th house, and the 7th house is associated with marriage, one-on-one relationships, legal contracts, and we're going to have the eclipses happening on your axis. You and Gemini are very much a part of the cosmic fabric of 2021. And I'll get a little bit more to that, but Gemini, there's going to be a slew of planets over there. Venus, the planet of love, is in Gemini right now. It's going to be making a trine over to Saturn over the next day or two. I'm doing this video on May 18th. Mercury, the messenger planet, which also rules Gemini, by the way, it's in its home sign right now, is traveling through Gemini, and it's going to go retrograde at the end of the month. And this is also going to be big for you. So a lot happening on your relationship front, your partnership front, throughout all of pretty much the rest of May and June. So let's talk a little bit about what this all means for you, Sag. So the sun will move into Gemini on May 21st. So just a few days from now. And that really puts a spotlight on your relationships. And on May 26th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius while the sun is sitting in Gemini. So this is basically a super full moon. It's an eclipse, and eclipses always bring endings of some type. It's big changes. The universe is realigning you toward your destiny, and that's where the nodes of the moon are. And modern astrologers say the North Node, which is sitting in Gemini, is pointing to your destiny. So there's some destined relationships that you are going to encounter over the rest of 2021. The South Node, which is sitting in your sign right now, really marks, it can point to the past, things that need to be let go. So something you personally, Sagittarius, you need to let go. But the moon will be in your sign on the 26th. This marks the eclipse area. So this could be an emotional time for you. Whenever the sun and the moon oppose each other, this points to potential relationship issues. And of course, this is happening in your 7th house. But it could also mark the beginning of something new too. So some of you, if you're single, could meet someone that could turn into something long-term down the road. Others of you might end relationships, or a portion of your relationship just might end. Maybe you take it to the next level, or maybe you need to reconsider something in your partnerships. And it's not just personal relationships, it's also business relationships too. Mercury is going to go retrograde from May 30th through June 22nd. And this is going to happen from 24 degrees. It's going to station retrograde at 24 degrees and then move backwards. It's an optical illusion. It's not actually moving backwards to 16 degrees. And what's interesting about this Mercury retrograde is that Venus retrograded in the same area last summer. So think about what was happening last summer. If there was any, anything happening in relationships during that time that was significant, there could be a review of those themes once again during this Mercury retrograde phase. And Venus is over there now. It's passing through this same area that it retrograded last year. So this could be a potential review of those themes from last summer. But Mercury retrogrades are always a time of review. It's a time of realignment, adjusting, and slowing down. Gemini Mercury rule communication. It's a busy house, generally speaking. It could rule local communities, travel, short distance travel, siblings, marketing and selling. These are all things that could potentially come up for you, but because it's in your 7th house, it really points to review of relationships. So there could be relationship themes that come up that require you to do a little bit of introspection and rework of some type. And again, that's from May 30th through the 22nd. And there's going to be an extended stay for Mercury sitting in that 7th house of Gemini for you. I think it's going to be there for almost 2 months. So your mind is really going to be on, who deserves to be in your life and who doesn't, essentially. Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, karmic justice, it's good luck and optimism, just moved into Pisces on May 13th. And this is extremely beneficial for everyone because Jupiter is the ancient ruling planet of Pisces. And Pisces is this dreamy, compassionate, empathetic sign. And for you, Sagittarius, this is your 4th house. Pisces is 4 signs past Sagittarius. And the 4th house has to do with home and family. It has to deal with motherhood. It's a nurturing, caring sign, generally speaking. So for you, when Jupiter moves into this particular area, this could point to expansion of the family. Perhaps you decide to relocate, or perhaps you're looking to make additions into the house. It could also point to motherhood. So these themes could come up for you, especially in 2022, because Jupiter is going to just give us a preview, essentially, of what it's going to look like when it moves into Pisces. So from May 13th through June 28th, that's when it will briefly move into your 4th house, and then it's going to retrograde back into Aquarius for the rest of the year of 2021 into your 3rd house of communication, marketing and selling, siblings. There's going to be a review of those themes until it moves back into Pisces in 2022. But if you're thinking about buying a house, expanding the family of any type, some of you might become mothers during that time. So 2022 could be very promising with those particular themes. Mars, the planet of action, vitality, virility, aggression, and conflict, is in Cancer, and it's in its fall position here. So Mars is irritable, usually in Cancer, and Mars is going to be here until June 11th. So this could point to potential conflicts within the family, conflicts with women, reproduction of women. There could be issues in the home. Perhaps there's a home repair that comes up. This is, for you, Sag, this is your 8th house. So these are things unseen. The 8th house is a hidden house. It's modern astrology would say this is about intimacy, taxes, death, rebirth, and transformation. Ancient astrologers say this is the house of karmic debt owed to you and debt owed to others. And Mars rules the 8th house in ancient astrology. So for you, this could be quite strong. You could be really reviewing a lot of those themes as Mars moves through there. And there could be some conflict and some aggression and some irritability regarding these themes. It's also a financial house, and it rules other people's money. So joint ventures, banking, debt restructuring, mortgages, all of those themes might come up, and you might be taking action on those themes through June 11th until Mars moves into Leo. Let's get to the eclipses. So we talked a little bit about this. The lunar eclipse will happen in your sign, Sagittarius, on May 26th. These are big changes with you. You're going to be changing perhaps your presentation to the world. You might be doing body maintenance. Your self-expression might change. You're really looking at you and your relationships and how you fit into them and how others fit into your life. But for the most part, this is big changes with you. And then there's going to be that total solar eclipse happening in Gemini just 2 weeks later. So again, it's going to be major changes coming up with you and your partnerships for the rest of the year. Eclipses could take 6 months. They could happen very suddenly, but it's major changes. And you're going to see a complete transformation of yourself and your relationships over the course of the next 6 months or so. So that's what's happening in the sky for you. Big things in that 7th house of marriage. Some of you might take a relationship to the next level. Some of you might get married later on this year. You might meet someone that you end up taking to a long-term relationship. Others, there's going to be endings. It's the nature of eclipses. People come in and come out, and it realigns you to your destiny. So keep that in mind. Eclipses are big. May 26th, and then 2 weeks later. So that would be, around the 11th, 12th, when we'll see that solar eclipse in Gemini in that 7th house of marriage. So keep those dates in mind. Big stuff coming down. It's going to be an intense month, a couple of months actually. And that Mercury retrograde, it's going to be intense because Mercury rules Gemini. And the last time we saw a planet retrograde in its own sign was Mars in Aries, and that was an extended stay. Mars was in Aries for almost 6 months, and right when Mars was about to leave Aries, when it was finally going direct again, that was January 6th. So you can see what happens when a planet retrogrades in its own sign. It's very potent, and it has major changes. So I want you to be aware of it. That's the energy that's sitting out there. So, Sag, let's do a love tarot reading. We're going to pull one card from the Angels Oracle deck for the general energy. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you from the tarot and 3 cards for your love interest. Keep in mind, these are general readings. These messages will not resonate with all of you. Take a look at your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign. Sometimes those messages will resonate more with you depending on what's happening in your natal chart. I was shuffling before I got on. I'm going to give these another shuffle so you guys can see that I don't mess with the cards or anything like that. Venus is going to be making a trine over to taskmaster Saturn over the next couple of days. Venus is sitting in your 7th house right now. That's the reason why this is very important. You're going to be really thinking about relationships, and maybe you've met someone recently, and whenever Venus makes a trine over to Saturn, it could point to something potentially long-term. Saturn's sitting in Aquarius for you. That is your 3rd house of communication. So you might get some surprising communications, taking love a little bit more seriously. You could be more disciplined in your relationships, trying to build something solid and concrete. So those are general themes. Trines are nice. So, it could be something really, what's the word I want to use here? Something that could be very fulfilling for the long term over the next few days. And you could be getting hints of that. So keep an eye out. Okay. Just one more shuffle. All right, Sag, here we go. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I think one of the air signs got this yesterday, so you might want to check out Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. You might be dealing with Gemini, which is your 7th house, so that makes sense, but worth the wait. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So again, if things are rocky, if you're single, if you're dealing with some relationship issues, you got to realize that the universe is going to rework some things with these eclipses and Mercury retrograde in order for you to be aligned with what it is you truly deserve and want. But you have to know your value, right? Venus is all about value, and it's in your 7th house. So you got to value yourself in order to bring in the right relationship. So, okay, Sag, 3 cards for you. Let's see what's happening. The Lovers. This is Gemini. 8 of Swords. 6 of Cups. Okay. This is for them. The Empress. Knight of Wands. The Moon. Wow. I mean, sometimes the astrology surprisingly lines up a lot with the tarot. So let's start with you. First card out, it's always the strongest, the Lovers. The Lovers are literally the lovers. So you might be reviewing love. We talked about that 7th house. That's where those eclipses are going to be. Venus is over there right now. This is literally the Gemini card. You could have decisions in love that you need to weigh and balance and start taking action. Mercury's going to retrograde in this area too, so things could come up that require you to do a little review. It's worth the wait. You need to be patient. Divine timing is at work here. You're going to know what decision to make in love. But the thing is, looks like you might be feeling a little stuck. not sure what to do next. It's the woman bound and blindfolded, and she's trying to figure out how to get through all these swords. It's a mental energy. You might be really... Mercury retrograde is going to put a lot of mental tension on everyone. So if you're feeling the mental pressure here and you're not really sure what to do next, be sure you're getting plenty of exercise. It's good to get the mental tension out of the body. That is the easiest way to get clarity. So be sure you're getting plenty of exercise, but information is not quite clear yet. You're not really sure what to do next. You're feeling stuck and bound to something that not really sure, right? The information isn't quite clear yet. You're going to get the information around the eclipse season. You will have more clarity around there. And you might be dealing with an ex. It's an ex situation. It could be an ex-lover, an ex-partner, ex-spouse. But Six of Cups, for me, typically represents the ex. So maybe you're balancing, you're trying to decide, which one do I choose? Maybe an ex has reappeared. Maybe you're hung up on the ex still. Perhaps you have someone new that you're considering. I generally say exes are exes for a reason. People don't usually change that fast, but, strange things happen. So if you're dealing with an ex situation, information is still not totally clear here about their intentions and what it is they want. I would say you're going to get that information around the eclipse season, starting May 26. Could be around Mercury retrograde. Mercury's in shadow right now, which means the themes by which are going to come up for review. We're going to start getting hints of that now all the way up until May 30th. So you might be thinking about an ex. The other side here, this is interesting. So we have the Empress. The Empress is all about beauty, cooperation, pleasure, and love. And Venus is sitting in Gemini right now. Again, this is very much Gemini type energy. Whoever's embodying this type of energy definitely wants a future with you. They see something with you. This also might be a hotbed buddy, because your next card here is the Knight of Wands. It's the fire pony. He or she, don't get hung up on gender, has a magnetic appeal to them. They're usually very attractive. They're socialites. They are very exciting. They bring excitement. They have passion and fire. But sometimes the fire pony comes in just as quickly as he leaves. So if this is the ex, I'm going to say that you don't have all of the facts just quite yet. And here's the moon. The moon is going to be in your sign in that total lunar eclipse on May 26. The moon also represents secrets. It coincides nicely with the Eight of Swords here, because the woman is blindfolded. She doesn't have all the facts. Something has not been revealed yet to you. Lunar eclipses are typically times that we see clearly. Secrets are revealed. Solar eclipses are when facts are hidden. The light is blocked. I think I think there's about a secret that's about to come out for you. About this person. If this is someone you're dating currently and it's not the ex, there's definitely great attraction here. There could be some abundance. You could be having all the good feels. Again, some of you are going to be meeting this person over eclipse season. This could be your long-term person overall. If you're on a rocky relationship right now, you don't have all the facts. Something isn't quite come to light just quite yet, but that's what the moon card signifies here. But you're going to get those facts, like I said, right around eclipse season or right around the time that Mercury starts retrograding. So hold tight. Let's pull a card from the outcome. Yeah, Six of Swords. I think that many of you are going to be moving away from a situation. I mean, that's what the Six of Swords is. It's literally saying something here is just not working for me. You know, the fire pony, I call him the fire pony because it's a good term for him. Like I said, the fire pony comes in as quickly as he goes out. It's not like the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Pentacles. This is more about sex, be quite honest. So it might not last as long as you'd hope it would. But this is likely you moving away from a situation. So I don't know. You know, like I said, divine timing is at work here. You have to make decisions on your own. But as the outcome, it's people moving away and moving to a different direction so you can realign with your destiny. I mean, that's what the nodes of the moon in modern astrology point to is destiny. So keep your head up. Keep an eye out for information. Secrets will be revealed during this time, and you're going to have to make decisions. It looks like you might be moving away from a situation. I hope you enjoyed this reading, Sagittarius. It's going to be a crazy ride over the next couple months. Keep your head up, get plenty of exercise, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.